Parents urged to be extra vigilant.
Because your home is our home. Adelaide is your city. 9 is your news.
Camper Agent RV Supercentres massive model year run out is on now. Take advantage of unbeatable savings across a huge range of new and pre-owned caravans and motorhomes. Save up to $10,000 on selected Winnebago and Windsor models. Save up to $9,000 on selected Corrimal caravans and up to $7,000 on selected Adria, Kia and Telvor models. Don't miss these exceptional deals. Hurry into Camper Agent RV Supercentre Parafield Gardens. These massive savings are only available while stock lasts.
Turkey Flat Vineyards is a renowned winery nestled in the heart of the Barossa Valley. And the vineyards are home to some of the oldest Shiraz vines in the world. Some of them date back to 1847. And from that history comes a new breakthrough. In 2023, Turkey Flat launched its rosé in eco-friendly cans. The rosé is light and crisp with aromatics of fresh fruit, florals and spice. It is a very good rosé. It's my favourite, in fact. And it is exactly the same in the can as it is in the beautiful glass bottle, but it showcases Turkey Flat's award-winning rosé and underscores their dedication to sustainability, convenience and responsible enjoyment. It's perfect for a picnic, camping or caravanning. Think of it as a holiday rosé. So try the rosé or spend a day at their cellar door. Go to Turkey Flat Vineyards, Bethany Road, Tanunda. Drink responsibly.
Here I am, I'm a man on the scene.
Kia's most awarded SUV just got better with the refined 7-seat Kia Sorento. Now with a dual 12.3-inch panoramic display and Kia Connect technology. The Kia Sorento. Visit kia.com.au to find out more.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Harris Scarfe is celebrating 175 years with unmissable deals on all the great brands you love, like Tontine, Tefal, Sheridan, Swiss Diamond and more. Don't miss out. Hurry in-store or shop online now. Conditions apply. Harris Scarfe. Great brands, great prices.
The FIVEAA Sports Show, Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer.
It was a Melbourne Cup for the mystery bet people. If you had a mystery bet, you were a massive chance of winning today because 100-1 winner got up. An Aussie horse too, Rowie, which was really exciting.
It's the biggest outsider since Prince of Penzance won with Michelle Payne.
Yeah.
The FIVEAA Sports Show.
From the Sunshine Coast, finished 14th in the Caulfield Cup.
Weekdays from 4 p.m. on FIVEAA. Always Adelaide. Streaming live via the FIVEAA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is FIVEAA. Always Adelaide.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
FIVEAA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
At 10 minutes past 3 here on 5AA, we are now live on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream, and jump on and say hi, and also jump on the phone if you have a question for Richard Pascoe, 8223 0000.
Pascoe, can you turn it off and then can you turn it on again? Hey!
Richard Pascoe, Adelaide tech guy. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers, your technology specialists. Hello, Richard.
Hello, Stacey. Got me in to talk politics. That's great today.
So what do you think about the 19 electoral college votes in Pennsylvania still to come?
I think Trump might have them. I really do. At the moment, Harris is the buckaroo of the Melbourne Cup. Backed in favourite, didn't finish in the lead at the moment. So
yeah. Well,
and don't you worry. You know, it's the example that the US election is holding up to the rest of the world. That, yeah, I know he's won people, you know, well, I'm not saying I think he'll win at the moment, but don't you think that the way he's behaved, you know, here in Australia we hold our politicians to a higher state. You know, can you imagine if Albanese carried on like Donald Trump?
No, I cannot.
No, I cannot. No, we can't. And I know he's a different sort of person. I understand all of that. And I know I'll cop flack for what I've just said. But, you know, he really is a different sort of person when it comes to this. But, you know, over here, if any, you know, Peter Malinauskas, the Premier, imagine if he carried on like, you know, one of these people over there.
Well, not just carried on, but also was charged and found guilty of charges in a number of states. That's the thing I can't get my head
I
around.
can't get my head around that either.
But, yeah.
I can't get my head
Yeah.
around he couldn't even pick his wife out of a photo. But I just,
I haven't seen that. I'll have to look that up.
I'll send you the audio for it.
All right, sounds good. Should we talk tech?
We can.
All right,
Yes,
deal.
we could do that.
Jump on the phone if you have a tech question for Richard Pascoe, 8223 0000. Mike is in Parafield Gardens and was quick off the mark today. Hello, Mike.
Afternoon, Stacey and Richard.
Hi, Mike.
Richard, I had a missed call on my phone, so I rang it back just to see who it was, and it was sounding like it was from an Adelaide Optus store, and it was giving me options because I missed the phone call whether I wanted to talk to an operator, blah, 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 and everything else.
Right.
Optus should not need to ring me, should they?
No. No, not at all.
Adelaide Optus store shouldn't have to ring me either because I don't deal with them.
Oh, there you go. No, have you been into an Optus store?
Keeps ringing me all the time.
Oh, they're just trying to get you, I haven't seen that for a while, but it used to be commonplace, say, 2 to 3 years ago. I would get phone calls from Optus saying, did I want to swap? I'd get phone calls from Vodafone saying, did I want to swap? My reluctance with that is when you do it over the phone, you're not really sure, to me, if it is Optus or it is Vodafone.
Yeah.
Or it's a third-party one trying to go along and get your business. And I've had that where... is an internet provider out there who's gone along and rung businesses, getting them to swap over. And it turns out to be a third party going along, representing that company, but I don't know why you do it.
So not to worry about it, Richard, at all?
No. Do you want to swap?
No. I'm quite happy with the phone I've got.
That's it.
Well,
Just ignore it. Tell them that.
Would you block the number, or is that
no,
too
it's
far?
a waste of time.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know how far to go to actually talk to them, because with artificial intelligence and everything else, or you say something and they get the wording and blah, 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 and everything else.
Mike, time is too short at the moment. Don't worry about talking to them.
Yep.
We've got better things to do with our time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like listening to this show. Say yes.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
See you, Mike. Thanks for the call. Let's go to William in Mansfield Park. Hi, William.
Hi, guys and girls.
Hi.
Hi, Richard. Basically, I got a new iPhone after some time. I've been avoiding it because I've really enjoyed my iPhone 13.
Right.
And I've got a new iPad and all that kind of stuff. And I'm a little bit aware of when you get your new iPhone, you transition all your iCloud over to the new device.
Yes.
So my iPad and my iPhone, even though they're separate devices, they've got the exact same text messages, the exact same photos all in it.
Yep.
When I transferred it over to my new phone, I lost about 20% of my text messages from and majority of those messages were all iPhone messages, not Samsung. So I can't get the messages out of the screen because the screen's damaged, out of the old iPhone because the screen's damaged. And I'm just wondering why they didn't cross over.
So, William, you got those text messages out of the iPad, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So iPads will only accept messages from other Apple products like the iPhone.
Right.
They don't accept text messages from an Android phone.
Okay, so why didn't my new iPhone take all of my old iPhone text messages from my old iPhone, though? I'm just wondering, is that normal?
Yeah, when you had iCloud backup turned on, and I'd say I do it for a lot of people out there, they don't have the backup, all the messages to iCloud turned on.
Yep. Right, okay.
And if that was turned on, you would have got all the texts.
All right, so just check if it's on or off. It might have.
Make sure it's on. All right.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
No worries. Thanks, William.
Good luck. That is annoying when you've got to change devices, and if everything you thought was going to be there is not, it's super frustrating.
Have you got that turned on, Stacey, on yours?
I do,
iCloud, you've got to have it backed up.
Yeah, because I don't like to delete any messages.
Yep.
I'm a journo, so I like to be able to go back 12 years and see what someone said to me. All right, let's go to Matt in Seacliff. Hi, Matt.
G'day, Stacey. G'day, Richard. How are you?
Good, Matt.
Richard, I'm just curious. Over probably about the last 5 or 6 weeks, at least once a day, but some days it might be half a dozen, even more times. I get this, it's off a private number, and I'll pick it up, just to answer it, and it's basically a message. I'm assuming it's in Chinese, and it gives you the option to hear this in English. If not, just hold, and I'll hang it up.
Good.
But I said it's literally every day it does it, and the one time I did let it run for about 10 seconds, it basically just played music, and then it went back to that message again.
Yeah.
How do I, is there any way I can stop it? Because it's coming through on a private number.
Is it the same number?
No, it's coming through on a private number.
No way you can stop it, Matt.
So that's it. I've just got to deal with it. So.
Yeah, you do. Sorry.
Yeah.
Again,
that's all
could
good.
you block the number?
It's a private number. There is no number to block.
God, okay, yeah. It's annoying, Matt. I get those ones as well. When you answer it and it just starts speaking in Chinese and you get the music, and it's very annoying.
Got to say again, I don't think Apple believe that people actually make phone calls on these anymore. I don't get them at all.
Oh, really?
Not one.
Is that an Apple? No,
that's the Google Pixel.
Ah.
I've got the iPhones out there. I've got two for both phones.
Oh, I think I get at least 2 spam calls a day.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
So do I.
Oh, it's so annoying.
Google just take care of all of them. Just put no spam texts, no spam calls.
Oh,
it's
that'd
lovely.
be nice.
It is.
Oh, what a world. All right, it's 18 minutes past 3 here on 5AA. If you've got a question for Richard, get on the phone, 8223 0000.
World Kindness Day is a beautiful reminder of the power of compassion and connection. It's a day we celebrate acts of kindness, big or small, that can brighten someone's day and inspire positive change. One company that embraces kindness is Calvary. They've been caring for the South Australian community since 1902, now across hospitals, home care, retirement living and residential aged care. Remember, kindness is contagious. One small act often inspires others to do the same. Celebrate World Kindness Day with 5AA, always Adelaide.
Buddy up for lunch with a Subway double deal. Not one, but 2 deliciously fresh foot-long subs, 2 ice-cold 600ml drinks and 2 gooey cookies. Order now at Subway. T's and C's apply.
Be a part of something bigger. Adelaide United versus Western United. November 9, Coopers Stadium. Get tickets at adelaideunited.com.au. Adelaide United, the People's Club.
Imagine it's a beautiful sunny day. You're standing on a garden of lush green turf. You've got your shoes off so you can feel that grass between your toes. Give them a good scrunch. Really feel your feet sink into the cool, soft grass. That feeling is yours every day when you lay lawn in your garden from the Turf Farm. The Turf Farm plant it, nurture it, harvest it, deliver it, and importantly, they guarantee it. Trust the Turf Farm. Go to theturffarm.com.au.
Here we go! It's the Mitsubishi end-of-year plate clearance, with bonus fuel cards on select vehicles, including a $1,500 fuel card on Eclipse Cross and Outlander petrol models, and a $2,500 fuel card on Pajero Sport and Trident, all backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. Offer ends December 31. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
Bob McKinnon proudly presents one of the best rock and roll shows in Australian history, The Good Old Days of Rock and Roll at Her Majesty's Theatre, Adelaide, at 2 p.m. matinee Saturday, December 14. Lucky Star, Dinah Lee, Jade Hurley, Digger Avell and Little Paddy in one sensational sellout show. The Good Old Days of Rock and Roll. Don't miss the 2 p.m. matinee performance Saturday, December 14 at Her Majesty's Theatre, Adelaide. Tickets on sale now.
I don't know where I'd have been if it wasn't for the Hart Street Centre.
This is Kingsley.
I love it. It's great there. Yeah, it's fantastic. They've been absolutely brilliant. And they're kind. Hart Street do their absolute very best to make sure that these people are cared for. That's the number one priority for them.
This Christmas, give the gift of a meal to someone like Kingsley by sponsoring a seat at the Hutt Street Centre. Donate at huttstreetcentre.org.au.
Whatever your path,
We're with you. Australian Super is committed to delivering the best super experience with personalised tools and interactive guides. Visit australiansuper.com/yourpath. Read the PDS and TMD at australiansuper.com.
Harris Scarf is celebrating 175 years with unmissable deals. Save 60% off the Tefal Easy Fry Oven and Grill 9-in-1 Air Fryer and up to 70% off the Swiss Diamond HD Classic Aluminium range. Conditions apply. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
And a very big good afternoon to you. Happy Wednesday. We're in the middle of Tech Talk with Richard Pascoe, Adelaide Tech Guide. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers, your technology specialists. And Richard, we've got some calls. Should we get into it?
Let's get into them.
Let's go to Trevor. Hello, Trevor.
Yeah, hi Stacey. How you going?
Good. How are you?
Trevor.
Good, thank you. Sorry, Richard, I'm not ignoring you.
That's all right, Trevor.
Richard,
you can do that if you want.
I'm just wondering... thank you. I'm just wondering, when I contact a company that I may have dealt with before,
Yeah.
so they have my mobile number, and I have a new inquiry.
Yes.
And then they put you on hold, and I'm sure they're checking their database to see what's happened previously with phone calls and stuff like that. Is that a fair thing? Is there any way to sort of say, hang on a sec, new inquiry, it might be a insurance policy or something like that, but it allows them to
It does.
check on the history, which is I consider unfair. If I re-ring, I consider it a new inquiry.
So here's the thing, Trevor, that I've got a problem with. I think you should complain to your local politician to say companies in Australia need to only hang on to our details for a set amount of time, because we get people like the Latitude hack when that happened, and they'd held on to people's details for over 15 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, and all this is out there. Should complain to your local politician. We need to go along and change this.
Yep, I agree with you on that. I was a part of that Latitude one, and when I got that email, I went, Latitude? When have I been with Latitude? And then I realised I had a travel card 11 years ago or something.
Coles card from 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's frustrating,
It is.
Trevor. I
Yep.
really feel for you with that one. All right, let's go to Malcolm. Hello.
Oh, hi, Stacey. Hi, Richard.
Hi, Malcolm.
Yep. I'm having a problem. Paramount Plus. I'm trying to sign in.
Right.
And fill out all the information, and when it comes down, filled out my card, and it keeps coming back. Your card is declined. It won't let me sign in, and my card's good because, like today, Netflix, has taken money out. I've rang the bank, and the bank says they don't seem there's any issue.
Are you are you doing that on a computer, Malcolm?
No, iPad.
On the iPad. Have you got a computer?
Yeah.
Try on the computer and do it in an incognito mode where you haven't done it in there before, Malcolm. All right?
Okay. All right.
And it's worth it. Paramount Plus, very good streaming
Very
service.
good
in
service.
My opinion.
Yeah, no, because I heard Stacey talk about that Lioness and Donald.
I was just telling Richard about it in the break, Malcolm.
Good, isn't it? Is it really good?
It's really good. If you could get your subscription sorted, I promise you it'll be worth it.
And there's a new series of Star Trek Strange New Worlds coming as well. So, yes.
Something for everyone.
That's it.
Good
try
luck.
the computer way, Malcolm. All right?
All right. Thanks, Richard.
Good
Thanks,
luck.
Malcolm.
Bye. Let's go to Glenys in Malang. Hello, Glenys.
Hi, how are you both?
Good.
Good, Glenys.
That's good. I have a query about I had a 4G or 3G, 4G iPhone. I've had it for ages, and I knew I just kept getting a message from Optus that I needed a new phone.
Right.
So I sort of Googled and had a look. I was looking, and I'm 78, so I don't want to buy an expensive phone.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. So I Googled, and I was looking about, reading about refurbished phones, and I went to there was a new shop where we live in Victor, not far from here, and so I went to there and I asked the lady in the shop, and she said I said, I need a new phone. Can you sell me a refurbished phone? And which she did. And I said to her, is this phone going to be okay? And she said, yes, it will last you for quite some years. And so I bought it, and I was really pleased with it.
Yeah, what is it, Glenys? Which phone?
It's an iPhone.
Yeah, which number?
Yeah, I know. It's hang on. It's a USC 2020. And when I received it, they said it was it is in very good condition. It's fine. I love it. I'm really happy with it.
Right.
But then I get, as far as I'm concerned, it's a 4G phone. But anyway,
it will be.
I started getting a message back from Optus to say the phone that I had would also be obsolete and it would be no use to me, and I need another phone.
Oh, Glenys.
Right. So what do I do? Do I have to? And
how long have you had that?
I'm still using it.
Yeah.
I'm still using it.
Understand?
And I know it's probably going to get cut off. When we're going on holiday soon, I'm going to be in a right mess.
Glenys, what I would do is it could just be the SIM card now, because you're calling us on that phone, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Right, phone's fine. Go and get a new SIM card.
A new SIM card?
Yeah.
Okay, so what will that do? How will I get all my information to go on that?
Your phone, all the information is already on your phone. It's not on the SIM card. The SIM card is only the tool to make sure that you can go along and make a phone call and ring us.
Okay. And you think
well,
that will work? And that will be okay?
Yeah, well, it's working now. You'll be fine.
It is working.
Yeah.
I've
All
never
right,
had an
Glenys.
issue with it.
There you go.
Okay.
Good
I'll
luck.
see how I go and let you know. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Glenys.
See ya. Thanks for the call. Time for one more quick call. Simon's in Lewiston. Hello, Simon.
Hello, Stacey and Richard.
Hello.
Barmy Army to Richard.
Right, yes, Simon.
Quick question for you.
Yes.
I've been getting dodgy emails, as you always do.
Yep.
You know, but now I'm getting emails from my account to my account with my name saying I've been watching dodgy videos, give us some Bitcoin.
It's fake.
I got that too.
Has my account been hacked?
No, it hasn't, Simon. Your email address is probably freely available to buy on the internet, as Stacey's
well,
as mine.
I was in the Optus and Latitude hacks.
There you go. Yeah. So, I've got to say, for everybody out there, it will say you've been watching adult videos, and we will send a video of you watching adult videos to all your friends if you haven't done it. There is nothing to worry about, people, all right? Whether you do it or not, don't worry, all right? It is all fake.
Yeah. But how did it come from my email address to my email address? That was the question.
That's easy to mask.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
All right.
All right, mate. Wait for the ashes.
No
Thanks for your help.
Thanks, Simon.
See you, Simon. Bye. Bye. I thought the same thing when I saw it.
So many people panic over that.
Oh.
They really do.
I changed my password because I thought, can't hurt.
That's right. Yeah, so people panic over that. Going along, they're going to send it to the family. It's not. It's not going to happen, people.
All right. Well, Richard, it's been fun. Thank you for coming in. We'll continue to watch the US election votes, and up next we'll cross to Washington, D.C. We'll talk to Sam LaHood, who's with Bondi Partners, which is the group that Joe Hockey runs over in Washington, D.C., and we'll see if Sam's surprised by the results so far. It's an interesting one.
It's going to be a big few hours, Stacey.
It will be. All right. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
See Richard Pascoe there, Adelaide Tech Guy. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers, your technology specialists. News headlines now, then we're going back to D.C.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. Donald Trump has won the battleground state of North Carolina, putting him a step closer to a second term in the White House. The federal opposition says the government should have done more to make sure curfew and electronic monitoring rules for asylum seekers were legally watertight. Queen Camilla is on the sick list with a chest infection. And in sport, this year's AFLW Grand Final will be played at night on the last Saturday in November. The 5AA forecast partly cloudy this afternoon. Showers, then mostly sunny tomorrow, 22. Right now, it is 22. We'll have more news at 4 and as it happens on 5AA.
Bang, 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 bang. Feed the family tonight with KFC's $24.95 boneless dinner. Share tenders, nuggets, popcorn chicken, plus chips and gravy. Get more bang for your bucket every day at KFC. Not available on delivery.
Bang, 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 bang. When you go solar with Solar Heart, you'll join the smart Aussies lowering their energy bills with every sunrise. And right now, you can save up to $1,000 on Solar Heart solar power systems, including our revolutionary new Silhouette bifacial panels with a Solar Heart 30-year Australian warranty. To save up to $1,000 today and reduce your energy bills for years to come, get smart. Get Solar Heart. Terms and conditions apply.
There's one word that should be deleted forever. It transcends language, culture, geography, status, and it doesn't discriminate. That word is cancer, and until we can delete it, we're going to treat it. Lift Cancer Care is dedicated to offering additional cancer services to complement your existing treatment plan. We collaborate closely with your medical team to achieve the best outcomes for your diagnosis. So, if you or a loved one are ever struck with the C word, think of the L word first. liftcancercare.com.au.
You wake up in the morning, there's 2 scam texts and a fake invoice email on your phone. It's the never-ending war against scammers. But Australian banks are fighting back. Intelligence sharing between banks will identify new types of scams faster. A new payment system to make sure you pay the right person is being rolled out. Unique identity checks will help combat identity theft. And there'll be more double checks when you're paying someone new. Australian banks are working to protect you.
Hi, Malcolm Blade here. Knowles Caravans is celebrating 50 years in business with a gigantic stock clearance sale this week. That means big opportunities for big savings on quality Australian-made caravans. If you're in the market for a new or used caravan, you can't miss this.
Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans,
Knowles Island Star Caravans gigantic clearance sale on now in Sunday, Salisbury Highway, Greenfields, opposite Mawson Lakes.
Knowles Caravans, trusted for quality, driven for adventure.
There's lots of benefits with WEA face-to-face learning. For example, you can ask a question and get an answer immediately. Now try asking YouTube a question. WEA has 22 language courses on offer and over 80 cooking and wine appreciation courses. How about learning subdividing land and property development, gardening in a changing climate, or music and performing arts for hobbies? For face-to-face learning you'll love, visit wea-sa.com.au.
The pieces just came together. From the enlistment form to the discharge papers signed after Gallipoli. He was my great-uncle Jack, and now his story is part of mine. There could be more to your story too. Piece it together with Ancestry.
Always trusted. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
At 26 minutes to 4 here on 5AA, it's still too early to call the US election, but the longer time goes on, the closer Donald Trump gets to victory. At the moment, the New York Times is predicting he will win 230 of the 270 seats needed. That is compared to Kamala Harris's 204 at the moment. Of the 7 swing states, only one has been called so far, North Carolina, which has 16 electoral college votes. That's gone to Trump. No votes have been counted in Nevada yet, but in most of the other states, at least, they're forecasting that it's leaning Trump. They are leaning Trump at this stage. Let's go to Washington, D.C. now and check in with Sam LaHood. He's the Director of Government Relations with Bondi Partners. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Stacey. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for your time. I know it's extremely late there, almost early in the morning, so thank you.
Yeah, happy to be here. You know, I'm up watching the results like a lot of folks around the country, I think.
Yeah, it's become a bit of a sport. There's so many people here watching it as well. Much more friendly hours for us. It's just gone 3:30 here in Adelaide in the afternoon. Were you expecting the results to come in the way they have so far?
You know what? I mean, I think, I think for me, looking at 50-50 polling results in the swing states that, that you mentioned that people are watching most closely, for me, that Trump overperformed very significantly polling in 2016, and he overperformed in 20 as well. I think a lot of people questioned whether pollsters got it right here in the United States, and it looks like, Trump is overperforming again in some of those swing states. And so, in my mind, looking at 50-50 polling in some of those key states, I in the back of my mind, that weighed on me, and I was really looking to see if Trump would outperform. And so I think that's what you're seeing early on, or that's what the indicators are.
It's still too close to call for everyone at the moment, but given the way it's all leaning, do you think it will be a Donald Trump victory, or are we still waiting for a lot of those pre-polls, those early mail-in votes?
Well, as you kind of mentioned, swing state of North Carolina already called for Trump. Georgia is clearly heading to Trump's column as well. That's a bad sign for Kamala Harris and a good sign for Trump. It narrows the possible opportunities for Kamala Harris to win. I mean, she really needs to perform in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. And those are really the key states. Pennsylvania, first and foremost. And Trump is outperforming a little bit of what we saw in the polling. You see the Senate candidates doing very well on the Republican column as well in those states. And then the exit polling as well that people have started to digest. I mean, particularly you see Hispanics breaking for Trump. That's a bad sign for Kamala Harris. That's a really good sign for Trump is what I see.
Do you think there's a serious issue about polling? I mean, we here in Australia a few years ago had to have a serious look at the way polling was done because they were just so vastly different to the results of our federal election, and they've really sort of tightened it up. And the polling more recently in the last couple of elections has been a lot more accurate than it was a couple of election cycles ago. And it seems like the polling in America is sort of heading towards where it was here, where it was wildly inaccurate.
So Trump, certainly, pollsters haven't gotten Trump right. That seems to be the bigger anomaly. Other, races, pollsters seem to be able to peg a little bit better. In the United States, we don't have mandatory voting like you do in Australia, and polling is based in part on people's past behaviors. And so, Trump has skewed that to some degree. The other thing, just demographics shift over time, right? And our voting system has changed over time as well, whereas during COVID, there was a dramatic increase in terms of early voting, mail-in voting. That changes a little bit of the outcome in the results. And, the other component is just, Trump has drawn out people who are not traditional voters. He has outperformed among people who do not regularly participate in an election cycle in America, and that has skewed the results in some ways. And then there's also a suspicion that, certainly in 2016, people were reluctant to admit they were voting for Trump in some ways, and that might have skewed the results. But polling in America, again, is based on past practice, and, Trump seems to be, for me, the more anomaly in some of our polling. In our midterm elections, pollsters seem to get it more accurate as it relates to, Senate races and House races. And so, with Trump on the ballot seems to be the wild card.
That's been a lot of the rhetoric here as well, Trump being a bit of a wild card and in terms of relations with Australia too. Given you work for Bondi Partners with Joe Hockey, Director of Government Relations, I played a grab earlier of Kim Beazley, who was, he was talking about replacing Kevin Rudd. It was Alexander Downer, a former MP here, former ambassador, and he was saying that we need to stop with that rhetoric because there's no evidence that Donald Trump would in fact make relations between Australia and the US any more tense or would have an impact on the relations at all. What do you think about that? If Trump is to win again tonight or tomorrow, whenever we get a result, do you think it would have any impact on the relations between Australia and the US?
Well, I work with Joe Hockey, as you mentioned, at Bondi Partners, and Joe was the ambassador here in the United States for 3 years of the Trump term. And, Trump has a positive view of Australia, views Australia as a partner and friend of the United States. And the partnership that has really strengthened in recent years as it relates to, reshoring, friendshoring of manufacturing and supply chains, issues around defense strengthening, AUKUS as well, have broad bipartisan support here in the United States that I think in some ways transcends, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. And I expect that to continue.
I think it's the America first that a lot of people are worried about, the discussion about introducing tariffs on imports and the rhetoric around America first, which I think a lot of people, if there was an Australia first policy, would actually be very supportive of. I mean, it sounds good. It's patriotic. You want to support your own country first. But when we're looking at that from, down here, we're looking at it thinking, oh, America first. Does that mean we might not get the submarines that are part of the AUKUS deal, or we might not get some of those agreements that our governments have made if it's America first?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think on AUKUS, our Congress has a big say in that. I think there's broad bipartisan support. I'm not super worried about that. On tariff policy, I mean, I think Trump's, some of his campaign rhetoric about 10% across the board tariffs, I think has, sent shivers down the spines of a lot of our partners around the world. And I think, most people I talk to, I think, take Trump serious on this, but they don't take him literally. And there will be an active brawl in Washington, D.C. if Trump wins the White House. I think between Republicans in Congress with Trump, and I think among America's close trading allies, around the world on Trump, on tariff policy in particular. And so, while I expect some changes if Trump gets elected in terms of tariffs, tariff changes that the president has at his authority are under national security sort of guidelines, and so it'd be a real stretch for Trump to try to institute some sort of across the board 10% tariff, and that seems incredibly unlikely, and I think would be challenged in court. So wouldn't be surprised if you saw tariffs, on American adversaries like China and on some sort of different sort of trade elements. Trump has talked about it, particularly as it relates to electric cars from China, things like that. I expect to see some changes, but I don't expect 10% across the board tariffs. So I don't think that's a realistic issue. And I think there's going to be a lot of, strong opinions about that you're going to see come forward domestically here in the United States from the business community as well as from American allies.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people here listening, breathing a sigh of relief, hoping that doesn't actually eventuate. But, we'll have to wait and see. So, Sam, before I let you go, are you willing to make a call?
Well, I mean, I need to see some more of the results here, but the trend is certainly in Trump's favor, and I think you see that in all the results. And so I think people want to see these trends continue, but Trump certainly looks to be having a good night so far, but gotta count up all the votes here. But looking at where Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, sort of the most important swing states and the largest ones, that they are trending Trump's way, is a good sign for him.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, Sam, really appreciate your insights this afternoon or this evening where you are. Thank you so much.
You bet. Have a great day. Thanks so much.
You too. That's Sam LaHood, Director of Government Relations with Bondi Partners. 16 minutes to 4 here on 5AA. Scott Morrison, former Prime Minister, has been interviewed on Sky News in the last half hour or so. Here's what he had to say.
Well, Donald Trump was always going to win this election if it was about the economy, cost of living and immigration. You add to that the fact that President Biden's re-elect scores are in the 40s, and as you just heard then, there's been a reappraisal of the Trump term by Americans, and his job approval ratings now for that time today are much higher than they were back then. Then you had the right and wrong direction stats, and they were compelling. 2/3 wrong, 1/3 right. Now, that's quite a steep hill to climb if you're the Vice President seeking what is effectively re-election of a Biden administration. And I think the Trump campaign very successfully connected the Vice President to the Biden administration. And when all those things come together, and a stellar performance from Donald Trump, from President Trump, then it's all come together tonight. And Donald Trump has torn down this blue wall. That's very clear. And, you had to win Pennsylvania to win this election, and that looks very, very strong. And then you add to it Wisconsin and Michigan, two very difficult states, and he's performing very strongly there. It's only really, I think, down in Arizona, and we'll see what happens in Nevada, where things are tighter. But this has been an extraordinary victory for President Trump. And, I congratulate him. I wish him well.
So there you go, former Prime Minister Scott Morrison there. Started that statement, Donald Trump was always going to win if it was based on the economy, etc. Isn't hindsight a wonderful thing? Not sure anyone was going to call it before the election, but now that the votes have started to come in, lots of people saying, oh yeah, I knew that would happen. I knew it would go that way. Yeah, did you? Don't know about that. 14 minutes to 4 here on 5AA. Up next, we'll cross back to the United States and we'll talk to someone from the Power Aussie Rules football team. I'm not talking about Tim Ginniver, who might also join me in the studio very soon. There is a Kansas City Power Aussie Rules football team. So we'll talk to an Australian expat who's been living in the US for a decade or so to get their perspective on what it's like being there during an election campaign like this one.
Join Rowie and Timmy G in the studio every afternoon with 5AA's live video stream of The Sport Show. Thanks to Foodland. Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
Fill the fam with a Subway family feed for dinner. Serve up 2 mouth-watering foot-long subs, 2 delicious 6-inch subs, 4 ice-cold drinks and 4 gooey cookies. Order now with Subway. T's and C's apply.
It's time to share the joy at Maya this Christmas with 40% off the Cook's Collective Cookware plus 40% off Homewares by Linen House. For a limited time, exclusions and conditions apply.
Maya, my store. If home is where your heart is, and if home is where you want to be, then home is where you can stay. My Care Solution supports you to live independently at home as you get older. You'll have a small, local care team ready to assist you based on your own individual needs. So if home is where you want to be, then home is where you can stay. Contact us to learn about our new client offer, available for a limited time. Search My Care Solution today.
No difference in your entertaining area. Big difference! No difference. Big difference! Big difference home improvements. From outdoor blinds to decks, pergolas and verandas. Don't just make a difference, make a big difference. BigDifference.com.au. Woohoo!
Now's the time to get into your new Mazda, with plate clearance bonuses available across selected 2024 models. Whether it's the expansive CX-90, stylish CX-30, versatile CX-5 or sporty Mazda 3, there's a perfect Mazda waiting for you. Enjoy connected technology and cutting-edge style, all designed for the joy of driving. Visit your local Mazda dealer and drive away today. Terms and conditions apply. See Mazda.com.au for details.
Australia's leading manufacturer of wheels to the mining, civil and transport industries is Rimex. And now Rimex has a local certified workshop right here in Adelaide. Wheel repairs, testing and certification, custom wheel builds and a full range of spares and accessories. Rimex. Tyre supplier to the transport and civil industries, plus the Boto range of OTR tyres. Rimex. Better wheels, built strong with proven performance. Rimex. Call 707 88527 or visit rimex.com.au.
If the bank's declined your business loan, no worries. Universal Finance make business loans easy. No financials required. Unsecured business loans and business overdrafts. Universal Finance can help your business now. For lightning fast settlement, sometimes in just a matter of hours. See Universal Finance in Kent Town today. Or search Universal Finance right now. This is general advice only, and you should consider the terms and conditions before determining whether this advice is suitable for your situation.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
At 10 minutes to 4 here on 5AA, getting very slowly closer to a result in the US election. The longer time goes on, the wider the gap, actually. At the moment, it's predicted Donald Trump will have 230 of the Electoral College votes, Kamala Harris 210. So actually, the gap's not widening. She does seem to be making up some ground as more votes are counted. But as we've been saying, most of the swing states left to count do look like they are leaning towards Trump. Although the gap they're narrowing as well. Arizona, the gap seems to be narrowing. Only 53% of the vote counted there. Georgia's the big one. More than 95% of the vote counted there, and Trump has had a 2% swing towards him, so it sounds like that one will be called quite soon. Pennsylvania being the big one. 19 Electoral College votes, the most out of all of the swing states. And at the moment, it's leaning Trump, but only 87% of the vote's been counted, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Now, I want to know what it's like being on the ground in America when there's an election like this happening. And Dan Scott is there, Aussie expat. He's now a key defender for the Kansas City Power Aussie Rules football team and joins you now. Hello, Daniel Scott. How are you?
Oh, not too shabby, Stacey. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So you've been in America for what, almost a decade, or?
So I've been in the US about 5 years. I've been in North America for about 10. I lived in Canada for 5 years before that.
Yeah, right. So you've been there you were there for the last election as well in 2020?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah. What's it like being on the ground? Is it different to an Australian election campaign?
It somehow, it feels like everything is ratcheted up a bit compared to Australia. There's sort of more tension, more advertising, everything's a bit harder hitting, everything's a bit more hard-nosed. It feels more consequential somehow, even if, it has the same impact on the people who are living there. So.
No, I can see that. Everything feels a bit bigger scale. The rallies, people seem more passionate. They seem more. You get Australians who are very one-eyed when it comes to politics, but certainly you see a lot more of it in America. People think what they think, and they'll tell you exactly what they think a lot of the time.
They certainly will.
So how are you feeling being in Kansas City?
Nervous at the moment, still trying to figure out exactly what the result's going to be. Kansas City's kind of an interesting place to be for this kind of thing because the city itself is very Democrat, but Missouri is a very Republican state. It's sort of a very different vibe if you're doing day-to-day wandering around the city than if you venture out for a hike or something like that. You get a very different environment. It's sort of the rural-urban divide is pretty striking in this part of the country.
Yeah, right. Okay. And you can sense that in the community and in terms of their politics as well.
Very much so.
Right. Okay. Well, before I let you go, Daniel, I've got to ask, how's the Kansas City Power going?
We're doing great, actually. We had a little hiatus over COVID, but we're back up and running. We had our first year of playing full 18s again, which is great to see. And we had our first win over a top 20 ranked opposition for about 12 years. So going strength to strength. So if any listeners end up in Kansas City, give us a buzz. We'd love to have you out for a kick.
Yeah, awesome. And where are you from in Australia? Where are you from originally?
Originally Sydney, but I haven't lived there since 2008. So I've been overseas for a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. So were you a Sydney Swans supporter?
We're not going to talk about that. I am, but let's not revisit the grand final.
Sorry about that. Well, hey, I'm a Port supporter. I'm a Power supporter, so,
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'd rather not get into it either. But Timmy G's just walked in, Port Power legend, of course, and I just thought we had to talk to an Aussie playing for the Kansas City Power.
Yeah, I love it.
This?
Sensational
I'd
stuff.
to chat to someone from back home.
Keep the good game going, my friend. Keep it going over there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We'll do our best.
Is it popular?
We get upwards of 7 fans out at a match, so it's growing. No, it's a lot of fun. We get a really good group of, there's a really good community around the team. It's one of those things with a small sport, you get a really tight-knit community and everyone supports each other and supports the community and things. So it's a good way of feeling connected to home, even if you're a long way away.
Yeah, nice.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Excellent stuff.
Oh, well, it's great to be able to talk to you, Dan, and I hope it all goes well for the rest of your season.
Thanks very much.
See ya.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
See ya.
Daniel Scott, Kansas City Power.
It's interesting.
How funny is that?
You could hear the twang in his accent now.
Yeah.
You can definitely see the Aussie background there, but it's amazing how influential it is when you live there, because what I think happens is you mimic to be understood. And that's why you start to change your accent. Josh Giddey, who's a great basketballer, all the rest of it, played at the 36ers here as an 18-year-old kid. Heard him speak then, and you can go back and watch a 36ers interview. You hear him now, and you go, hey, what's going on? But see, 2 or 3 years in, and we actually got to interview him, and he said, well, you slow down and you sort of copy because you have to be understood. And Australians, for them, speak too quickly and with too much slang. So we have to really slow it down.
We do. We do. Oh, I love that.
There you go.
Well, you won't be slowing down after 4.
No, it just keeps going. It's like
going.
a freight train. Actually, we've got the winning trainer of the Melbourne Cup, Sheila Lawson, coming on.
Oh,
so
very cool.
I reckon she'll be a real character. I mean, won way back in 2001. I'd like to know the difference between then and now, and what she sees as the difference from 20-odd years ago to what it is today.
There'd be a big difference in money, I reckon.
A little bit, but not probably a great amount. There's other races, of course, attacking the Melbourne Cup Spring Carnival with bigger purses. But I think there was only 5 Aussie horses running out of the 24, will end up being 23. So it's quite flooded with internationals. So compared to 01, probably a big difference there.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that difference is. She'll be a great chat, I reckon. So
that'll be great.
Should be terrific. Got, of course, our AFLW teams are in they were in finals this week. I nearly slipped, didn't I?
Don't get sleep.
But the Crows take on North Melbourne, who are, of course, top away, and Port Adelaide playing their first final at home v Richmond at Alberton on Sunday. So we'll interview 2 players from each, Sarah Allen and Emil Borg from there. So that should be good.
Awesome! I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, so we'll have a bit of that, and apparently there's an election going on. So if anything happens and breaks, we will break into that as well. So yeah.
Can't wait for that.
Case.
Can't wait to hear all the sporting news and the latest on the US election with Rowie and Timmy after 4. See you, Timmy. Thank you. Thanks for all of your calls and texts today. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Camper HRV Supercentres massive model year run out is on now. Take advantage of unbeatable savings across a huge range of new and pre-owned caravans and motorhomes.